So one of the things we love to tell people about Lethbridge when they're visiting here, when they live here, is that we're so fortunate to have this beautiful river valley right here in the very heart of our city. And it's wonderful because it's easy to access from downtown. So many of our neighborhoods border on the river valley, and it's a really exciting and beautiful place to be able to come and visit. The river valley is a really interesting space because the park systems here were designed so that there's different parks for different types of activities and for different things that people may want to do. So if you want to go for a picnic and have a bit of a campfire, there's a park for that. If you want to go for a run, there's a park for that. If you want to walk your dog, there's a park for that. And a lot of the parks have shared spaces, so you may be able to have a picnic and walk your dog and run all within that park. But the idea with the River Valley Parks Network is that there's a space for everyone and a space for every type of activity that you would like to do. One of the types of parks that we have here in the River Valley is something called a nature reserve. Other parks or cities may call them nature preservation areas. We have 4 here in Lethbridge. We're in the middle of one right now. The Lethbridge Nature Reserve is right beside the Helen Schuler Nature Centre. It's bordered by the high-level train bridge, as you can see behind me, and then Highway 3 up on the north. The Elizabeth Hall Wetlands is on the west side of the river, so just opposite the Lethbridge Nature Reserve. It's also bordered by Highway 3 and by the train bridge. On the west side of the city, we have Cottonwood Park, which is a beautiful spot to visit on the very south end of the west side. And then Alexander Wilderness Park is the 4th nature reserve, and it's on the north side of the city. In those parks, they were designed and set aside for low-impact activities. So things like going for a walk, going for a run, photography, things like going out and just looking for an escape from the city, somewhere a bit quiet to spend some time, or learn a little bit more about the wildlife and plants that we have that live here. Our parks are shared spaces, and the nature reserves are shared with other people, but also with the wildlife that live here in the city as well. It's important to remember that we share the whole city with wildlife and plants, but the River Valley in particular is a really important place for many of the native species that we have here in Lethbridge. So when we're in a space like this, it's nice to have those lower impact activities so that we can enjoy the space, we can enjoy seeing the wildlife and the plants that are here, but also that they can have space to live, go about finding food and shelter and homes at different times of year as well. So the nature reserves are an area where they're the only 4 places in the whole city where we ask people not to walk dogs, even if they're on leash, even if they're a really well-behaved dog. We ask people not to walk their dogs here, and we ask people not to bike in these areas as well. As I said, they are areas where we encourage low impact activities, and there are some really amazing places to go and bike in the city. There are lots and lots of trails that go throughout the River Valley. Indian Battle Park, so just south of the train bridge, has some really beautiful paved pathways if you're looking for somewhere a little bit easier to bike. In through Botterill Bottom and up into 6 Mile Coulee, there's lots of different types of bike trails for many different types of biking. So depending on what people are looking to do, there's many different areas where you can bike. It's just that the nature reserves are one area where we ask people not to go.